everything right, it was you and me.
Hello everyone, my name's 𝓶𝓮𝓬𝓬𝓬 and welcome back to my channel, or two if you are new. And today we have another video on my bed because this is going to be a super chill, fun video talking about books that I love along with movies that I love, and I'm so excited. This video today is if you like this romance book, then you most likely would like movies. I personally am a huge movie girl. Once I got onto booktube and started reading like crazy, I haven't been watching as many movies, but I am a huge movie girl. I love movies so much. So I was very excited when Em came to me with the idea to do a collab for if you like this romance book, then you would like this movie, and Em is doing if you like this movie, then you would like this book. And so again, this video is in collaboration with one of my very best friends, Em from the Bookish Potatoes. I love her and Claire. If you aren't subscribed to the Bookish Potatoes, what are you guys doing? If you like romance books, if you like sweet contemporaries, if you like fun fantasy, then you guys need to be subscribed to their channel. They are the best human beings, the sweetest. I love them with my whole heart. But yeah, I'm so excited to do this collab with Em. We just love romance and we love rom-com, so we're like, let's combine the two and make a collab. So this video specifically is if you like this romance book, then you would most likely like this movie. So you get both recommendations for a movie and a book, and then Em is doing the reverse. So if you like this movie, then you most likely would like this romance book. It's basically the same premise, but we just switched it around. But I love all the books and the movies that she's going to be talking about, so make sure to go and watch her video after this. It will be linked down below. And if you're a huge rom-com movie girl like me, then get yourself a snack and let's sit and talk about these books. But before we get into this video, don't forget to leave a big like and a comment down below, as well as subscribe for more romance book content or just book content in general. If you guys like to read, subscribe to me. Now, without further ado, let's get into this video. So number one, if you like The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata, you would most likely really like the movie 2 Weeks Notice featuring Sandra Bullock. I love her. She's my queen. Basically, 2 Weeks Notice is a rom-com following a heroine who is a lawyer, and she's been working for the hero for the longest time, for many years, and she kind of feels underappreciated, and he kind of takes her for granted a lot. She feels like a nanny. She feels like his assistant. She just doesn't like the position that she's in. So she wants to quit her job, realizes that she wants more out of life, so she decides to quit her job. And it's not until she quits that the hero realizes how much he needs her and that he can't live without her. She's his best friend, gives amazing legal advice. Her efficiency is amazing and she gets things done, but he just never realized that. He took her for granted, basically. And if you're familiar with The Wall of Winnipeg at all, you would know that the premise is very, very similar. It's different because it's not in the office setting, but we have a very famous football player and his assistant, and he never says thank you. He never really appreciates her. He never even notices her. They're not even friends, really. And so she decides that she wants to quit, and he starts realizing, like, wait, how am I going to get this done? How am I going to get this done? How is it done usually? Because he just kind of overlooks her. But it's very different than The Wall of Winnipeg and Me because Vanessa starts entering Aiden's life again because he realizes that he needs her for something, and they're basically going to help each other out with a fake marriage type of thing. So it does kind of venture off into another trope. So if you like the romance book where the hero kind of takes the heroine for granted in a workplace environment, they've been around each other for many years and he doesn't realize what he has until it's gone, then you need to watch 2 Weeks Notice. Number two, if you like You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hoggle, which I love, this was one of my favorite books of the entire year last year, then you most likely would really, really enjoy How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. I love this movie just as much as I love this book. I just love like pranks and kind of like hidden agendas. I just love that thing. So you really enjoyed You Deserve Each Other, then you most likely would like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. So How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days follows the hero and the heroine. The hero just made a bet with his colleagues that he can get a woman to fall in love with him in 10 days. And the heroine makes a bet with her boss saying she can lose a guy in 10 days. And so the heroine actually writes for like an article and she wants more substantial pieces to write on. So she makes a bet with her boss that if she can write an article about how to lose a guy in 10 days and actually lose a guy in 10 days, then she'll get more substantial pieces. And so if you read You Deserve Each Other, you would know that it's kind of similar. The heroine, Naomi, and Nicholas, they are engaged, and after being in the engagement for a little bit, Naomi is realizing this isn't really what she wants. She finds her fiance to be boring, and she hates his mother. She'd have like a whole monster-in-law situation. And also there's just not any passion anymore in the relationship because lots of the wedding preparations, like food, decorations, all that has been paid for. And Naomi isn't the richest. Nicholas is, and his family has been paying for the wedding. Naomi feels like if she calls off the wedding, then Nicholas's family would make Naomi pay them back for everything. So Naomi goes on a whole venture to try to get Nicholas to break up with her in order to leave this engagement unscathed. So she's playing pranks on him. She's doing all these things to make herself undesirable, being really mean and just overall like such a bitch to him. And so that's kind of what happens in How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, except they don't have a previous relationship. She's just trying to get this guy to lose her, and he's trying to get this girl to date her. So it's kind of like hidden agendas, which I absolutely adore. They are similar in the way that the girl is trying to get the guy to like dump her and leave her. But the miscommunication here, I know, gets on people's nerves. Personally, I love a good miscommunication. It's so much fun to read about. If you like the heroine trying to get the hero to break up with her, then you would like this book and you would like this movie. Next is, if you like The Score by Elle Kennedy, then you would most likely really enjoy Friends with Benefits. I love this. First of all, if you haven't read this series, what are you doing? You have to read the Off-Campus and the Briar U series. It's amazing. The Score is definitely my favorite in the Off-Campus series for sure. I love this book. Obviously, like the name of the movie suggests, this is a Friends with Benefits situation. Same with The Score. So in Friends with Benefits, which by the way has Justin Timberlake and Mila Kunis, you need to watch this movie if you haven't already. It just got added to US Netflix, so if you have Netflix, you need to get on this movie. Friends with Benefits follows Jamie and Dylan, and Jamie is a recruiter, and she just recruits Dylan to start working at GQ magazine in New York. And so they become kind of like fast friends. They have a lot in common, but they start talking and they realize that they are both kind of just done with love. They're both so jaded with all the recent breakups and the heartaches that they've experienced through their lives that they don't want to find love right now. They just want to have fun. And so they both get together and have a Friends with Benefits situation. And if you read The Score, you would know that it's very similar, not only in the trope, but our heroine Allie, she just gets out of a breakup with her boyfriend, and one drunken night she is staying at Dean's place. They aren't really friends, but they're acquaintances. They have lots of friends in common. It's like a whole friend group. And so she's staying at his place to stay out of her dorm because she fears that her ex-boyfriend will come like bother her or something like that. And so she comes over to his place. They get super drunk, and guess what? They end up hooking up. But it is not enough for Dean. He wants to sleep with her more and more and more. Allie's kind of like, no, I do not want to get into this type of situation with you. Like, no, I'm good off that. Allie finally gives in, and they start to have like a Friends with Benefits situation. So if you love the trope Friends with Benefits, then you would really, really enjoy Friends with Benefits, the movie, and also The Score by Elle Kennedy. Number 4, if you like Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert, you might focus on the word might. You might really enjoy the movie The To-Do List. I personally love this movie. I've seen this movie probably like 6 times. I was obsessed with it. I went through a whole phase. Let me explain, because The To-Do List is very, very raunchy. It's very, very sexual. So you might not like that. This is definitely like a sweet, heartwarming thing, but I thought the premise was a little tiny bit similar. So in The To-Do List, it follows Brandy Clark, and she just graduated high school. She got straight A's all throughout high school. She has big dreams. She's going to like an Ivy League. She graduated valedictorian. I think that's how you say it. I don't know. You can tell that I was nowhere near valedictorian level. I can't even say it right. She basically has lived high school, you know, not really. She's just really focused on school. She never really went to party. She never like had any sexual experiences. That was not her. She wanted to get into the top school. She wants to be the next Hillary Clinton. She knows what she wants and goes and get it. She graduates high school, and her friends decide to take her to a party and have fun. And there she meets this really nice, big, hunky guy who's obviously had more sexual experience than her. And she decides that in order to get him, and also to kind of like prepare for college and get as many sexual experiences under her belt as possible, she's going to make a to-do list. And so that to-do list is specifically all sexual stuff. She wants to get through that list by the end of the summer and get the guy and go to college all happy. That's the aspect of this movie. I wouldn't say it's specifically a rom-com. I definitely think that when women are the protagonists and the main characters, it's usually turned into like a rom-com thing, but it's definitely not a rom-com. It's just purely comedy. It's hilarious. I love this movie so much. The To-Do List is probably one of my favorite movies. And if you read Get a Life, Chloe Brown, you would know that it's kind of similar. Get a Life, Chloe Brown follows Chloe Brown, and she has a chronic illness, and because of this, she's kind of lived a very sheltered life. She does what she has to do. She works, she stays home, but one day she almost dies, kind of, and she decides to make a get a life list in order to get a life. And that way they're kind of similar. They both have lived lives where they aren't really getting out much, they aren't really having fun, and they decide to make lists to like experience and live life a little. So if you like that, I think you would really enjoy this, like a to-do list, getting everything checked off, trying to get the fullest out of life. So if you enjoyed this, you might like it. I don't know. I personally love both of them, so I'm only speaking for myself, but the To-Do List is one movie that is worth watching. I can tell you that. Number 5, if you like Beach Read by Emily Henry, then you might, again, okay, the last two ones, this one and the last one, might have been a little bit of a stretch, but if you feel me and you feel my thought process, then I think you would get what I'm trying to say here. I look for little hidden things that I can compare things to, so you most likely would like 13 Going on 30. How do I explain this? So 13 Going on 30 is about this girl who's 13 years old. She only has one friend. He's a guy. He's kind of like the boy next door. She kind of overlooks him. She doesn't appreciate him. And he's kind of always like been obsessed with her and wants her and all this and that. And so she's constantly kind of making him feel bad and looking past him. And because she just wants to focus on the popular group and be with the popular girls. And so heroine invites all the popular girls over to her house for like a birthday party type of thing, and it goes wrong, and she finds herself in a closet wishing that she were 30 years old, just done with being 13, and her wish comes true. She wakes up and she's 30 years old in a nice apartment in New York City, and she is so confused, and it's so funny. I love this movie. It was my favorite movie for the longest time, but I just love the aesthetics of that movie, the early 2000s, all the pink, all the glamour. Her clothes are to die for. I love this movie, but it fast forwards. Obviously, she's 30 years old, and she realizes being 30 isn't all that it's cracked up to be. And she wishes that she could just go back to being 13 again. She ends up finding her boy best friend from when she was 13 as a 30-year-old, and they kind of have a romance sparking, and he's kind of like, yeah, you were just always obsessed with the popular girls, you kind of overlooked me there, and he's just always obsessed with her. So there's that situation going on. The heroine is overlooking the guy. So in Beach Read, if you've read Beach Read, you will know that the premise is a little bit different, but it's kind of similar because our main character, January, and the hero, Augustus, they were actually rivals in college. They're both authors. Well, she didn't really like him, but little did she know that he was kind of like obsessed with her all throughout college and wanted to get to know her and date her. And he really, really liked her. And so, again, they are meeting up years and years later once they're grown up, and she realizes that she kind of like overlooked him. This book does have like deeper messages and deeper themes as well, so it isn't as light and fluffy as 13 Going on 30. So that's where they're kind of different, along with like basically everything else, except I'm just saying the fact that they didn't really like each other in college, and then years later they meet again, and he's like, I've been obsessed with you this entire time. Like, I'm in love with you. I loved you in high school. I loved you in college. It's kind of similar in that way in 13 Going on 30. So that was the last book for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave a big like and a comment down below. Also, do not forget to check out M's video. Again, she's doing, if you like this movie, then you most likely would like this rom-com. The books and the movies that she has for it are amazing, and I'm so excited for you guys to see it. Don't forget to subscribe while you're over there. They're amazing. They have amazing content. Her video will be linked down below, so don't forget to go and check it out. Don't forget to leave a big like and comment, and also subscribe. It truly helps support me and my channel. I will see you guys on Tuesday with a new video. Bye!
If I got one thing right, it was you and